Yahweh, Yahweh.
Comedy Hour. I'm Annamarie. My guest tonight is Chris Cope, and in the side chair over there, my co-host that keeps on helping me out with my cameras. You guys, we're going live on my feed. You're on the Power of Voices, the Rocky the Comic. Thank you so much, Rocky.
I know you're a comedian.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you were a comic.
Yeah, well,
that sounds. I feel rude saying that.
Because it's nice to not introduce yourself that way. Because people are just like, "Oh, tell me a joke." And
I wouldn't do that. I've been doing this 13 years. Last thing I want to do is hear anybody else's material.
Exactly. But no, I'm saying when you introduce yourself or someone introduces you as a comic.
For sure.
Like,
it's just like,
is that like
Jesus Christ? Can you not tell someone what I do?
Yeah,
like someone's like, "Hi, I'm Bob. He's a dentist." It's like.
Fix my. Look at this. I got this tooth. Yeah, but you'd be surprised.
Oh, but I do that to dentists, so I will make them look at my mouth.
Look at my teeth. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, bro, is this fractured?
Is this right? Yeah.
How much blood is normal? I have the worst. Oh, my teeth are killing me sometimes.
Well, I mean, that's life on the road too. Wait, because they don't have. Do you have insurance?
Yes.
Because I'm just about to enter that
realm of being poor.
Well, no, that realm of them getting. I'm no longer going to be on my husband's insurance, getting divorced. So that's going to be something that.
Aim for that Medi-Cal.
Medi-Cal?
Yeah, if you don't mind going
people?
to it's like it's free insurance. If you don't mind going to a doctor's office, or you have to wait 2.5 hours to see them, it's decent insurance. I have Medi-Cal, and I use it to go to the dentist. My dentist is great. I went to a general practitioner, and it was a bit. Even with an appointment, it was lengthy, but at the end of the day, it didn't cost me anything. And
let's talk about the lengthy appointments. I don't know about you.
Like I had an appointment for 2:45, and I didn't see the doctor until almost 4:15.
Isn't that like?
Man, I also they set appointments, and it's just based on time. It's not based on a person coming in and going, shit, this guy's got a growth on his fucking chest. He's got grayscale.
You're right, though.
That's a Game of Thrones reference.
You're right. Listen, I had... No, yeah, that is on that.
And I think I'm just caught up. What is it?
The thing, what's his face? The guy who was Khaleesi's bodyguard?
Oh, when he started...
Yeah, he gets the fucking concrete arm.
Yeah.
And the fucking Sam had to cut it off him.
Locked up and fully going to be...
and then Sam cut it off him.
Well, wait. How
And
did
then-
you?
I missed
how
that
were
episode
you
then.
through that cut when they?
Okay, first off, did you watch when he fucking when the mountain smashed Oberon's skull?
Yes.
Okay, how did anybody on planet Earth sit there and tell me that a dude getting stuff cut off him was worse than a dude getting his head crushed? Because when I was watching that scene, I go, "Oh, they're not going to show that. You're going to hear it. It's going
But
to sound
no,
disgusting." But they
showed
showed that
it.
dude's skull collapsing
Yeah.
on itself. That made me turn my head, and I've seen everything.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
So when he was peeling that gray skull, I'm like, man, I got scabs as big as that. I've peeled off a scab bigger than any shit.
You know what would freak me out? The freakiest place for me to see anybody with an affliction is in the eye. It's like shit in the eye, you know?
Okay.
Like,
My brother, I was looking at something in a grocery store, like on the wall. My brother pushed me when we were kids,
No
and
way.
the fucking thing missed my eyeball and went just in that like slot, like in between the where the cut, right here.
are you freaking kidding
Yeah,
me?
and it cut me and bled down, and like my dad.
Isn't that the worst pain, though?
Yeah.
That must have freaked your father out beyond.
It was my
Imagine
mother's.
that.
We were at like Food Lion. If that anybody knows who that grocery store.
Food Line is the Food for Less of Florida.
Yeah, it really is.
Yes, it is.
It is the
That's a
Winn-Dixie,
very apt.
yeah.
That's funny. It is. So
And
we're-
wait,
There's more.
So wait, yeah, I know that, but how much blood was coming out of your face?
I don't know, a good
Enough.
amount. I was,
Yeah.
I was a
Any amount
child.
out of
Because
your
I want to get that
eye
whole
is
effect.
too much.
Young child.
I looked like I had a partial stigmata.
Oh shit!
Like
That-
the Christ child.
Damn.
Yeah, man, my brother's done some damage to me. He's younger too. We used to fight like dogs.
is it just you and him?
I have a sister. Excuse me.
He's gonna get through this, folks. He's
No,
gonna get
it's.
through.
I
He's
was
been a
drunk
busy
earlier.
guy.
I was drunk earlier.
I did a podcast where I got to drink.
No way. Yeah,
Yeah.
some of them they
I was
choke
thinking
it
we
up.
should do that, like a little.
Well, I'm
wine.
loaded now, so it's fine.
Yeah, sign this waiver. You were not here when you get in the checkpoint. You did not. We could not.
What? It's Tuesday. There's no checkpoints.
There's no checkpoints. Good to know.
I
Write
am
that
gonna
down.
swerve.
Learn how to
with
drink in
the
LA.
best of them tonight. I'm gonna go to the Valley, and I'm gonna go to a bar in Sherman Oaks, and I'm gonna have a good time after this. And
Listen,
I'm-
I had the police officer. I got my first checkpoint. Of course, I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?" I know Florida has them. So the officer goes, "Ma'am, how you doing this evening?" And I'm like, "Yeah, great." And he goes, "Did you have anything to drink this evening?" I said, "I had one beer." So he goes, "Can you follow my finger, please?" So he's doing the finger thing.
Yeah,
so I
one
looked
means
at him. I go,
three.
Don't ask me to pull your finger, dude, because I know what happens next. And the cop started laughing. He goes, I couldn't help it,
Where
though.
humor saves
Humor
saves another
saves the
person
day.
from a
Yeah,
ticket.
and he-
Dude, if you
have
can
a
tell
good
someone,
DUI.
oh yeah, I've told cops I'm a comedian and got off the hook without a. I mean, it's a combination of white privilege and fucking being a comedian, and I've milked them both.
And shout out to the acknowledgement. Like
Of-
most guys are
like
just in
most
denial,
guys
but
just
at least
No,
you're
you're
aware.
shitting me. I've broken the law and been like, why am I being arrested? Oh, that's right.
You sound like Dave Chappelle's friend. Shit.
I didn't know I couldn't do that. You didn't know you couldn't do. Are you kidding? I've told cops I didn't realize I couldn't run through a red.
Dude,
Little California,
wait.
little California rolling
No,
stop.
it just turned red. I gotta stop. I had a cop one time. I think because he thought I was just dumb. I just moved
Simple
here.
Jack driving the car.
You make me happy. So I'm driving downtown, and downtown LA, the roads will go from one way to both multi-directional to one way. Well, I fucking turned down a random road, and I'm going down the wrong way. And some cops make a left right in front of me. And they turn, and I notice they hit their brakes because they realize I'm driving the wrong way down the fucking street. So I haul ass. I floor it. Get on a right way. I get on a right way.
Oh,
Like
shit.
I'm going the right way now, finally. And they get behind me, and I know they're running my tag. Because that's what they do. They get right behind you, they run the tag. They get up next to me, I roll my window and go, "I'm sorry, I'm new. I just moved here." And they fucking literally disengaged.
Yep. You get that.
I just screamed, "I'm the fucking new guy. I'm sorry. I don't know where I'm going. I'm new." And they just were like, "Fucking white guy."
Damn, see, I do not have that luck. I
No,
got
that's
pulled.
truth. That's
I got
awful
pulled
truth.
one time on my way back to Gainesville. Mind you, speed limit the whole way, and then you hit that point. You're like, "Oh, I'm good now. I'm home now." And I passed this cop so fast, I just pulled over because I know
You
he's
knew.
coming for my ass.
Yeah, at that point,
And
you
sure
know.
enough,
Yep.
I was just like,
But they really give you a ticket if you're that kind of like fall over.
Here's the worst part. I got 2 tickets that weekend. They got me going home and coming back from Gainesville to Tampa and then Tampa back to Gainesville.
I was chain smoking a bowl in my
cured me.
car in Daytona Beach doing a gig, and I was on my way to a movie during the day. So my car was smoked the fuck out. There's zero chance you didn't smell it.
Cheech and Chong.
And a cop pulls me over to give me a fucking ticket, gives me the ticket, and doesn't mention anything.
That's really
And it's obvious. I had smoked a bowl in the car 5 minutes prior. I didn't even have a chance to give it a Febreze spritz. You know what I mean?
The
like
double spritz. That takes
I
care
was
of
in
it.
North Carolina one time and I was smoking a bowl as I got pulled over. This is a recurring theme. And luckily I was smoking a bowl and I just got on the interstate. And I know I don't pull over on the interstate. That's a good way to get sideswiped by a car. And you're legally allowed to drive as far as you think you need to go. So it's like an extra 2 miles to the next exit. Thank Christ. And I'm holding the Febreze bottle, just holding it while it's on, just driving. I'm choking myself out. I'm like, fuck it. And the funny thing is, I get pulled over and it's like, driver, step out of the vehicle. Thank God. Thank God. That's the best thing you can get. Because if they don't smell the car, if they don't smell me, they have a much better chance of smelling the car than me. So I get out of the car. I lock the door. I immediately lock the door. I'm like, you're going to pry that key out of my hand. And I walk over and I'm like, I'm a comic. I'm here in town working a club. I mention I'm a comedian 20 seconds into being anytime altercation with police. Because 9 times out of 10, it gets me a reprieve. It gets
You're going to have a whole bunch of listeners going, write down, I'm a comedian.
Yeah. And then if they ask you to tell them,
any power outside
and then if you ask them to tell them a joke, just tell them a fucking joke. They're not going to know the difference between you and me. Okay? They're not. My favorite cop joke is when they ask you to tell them a joke, you go, what's the only animal with an asshole on its back? It's a police horse. If you're fucked and that ticket's in your head, tell them a joke.
Oh, I like that
said,
joke.
Yeah, I'm logging that one
funny.
in. Got it.
Fuck them. I'll fucking tell them. At this point, I'm like, you know what? I'll get a joke.
Fuck all that Black Lives Matter. I'm telling jokes.
Hey, man.
You know,
I saw a really funny thing on Twitter. It was some guy goes, praying for Houston, but other cities matter too. That's what all lives matter sounds
I
like.
saw that. Isn't that?
That's fucking brilliant. It's like, it's true.
Yeah,
That is
all lives
so
matter is
Because I don't need anybody to worry about my life. My life is fine.
right.
Does anybody know how the
you just
society was built?
described, There's a lot of black people who understood that yes, your life is fine. That white privilege of being pulled over seems fine to
Yeah,
them.
I mean, you know,
and smoking weed.
I may not
and
get picked
fucking
for certain
Febreze.
things, yeah.
What are you shitting me? And being a
Hollywood
comic.
might put me in second, third place because being a white guy sucks right now in Hollywood. But other than that, once I leave the studio, it's back to zippity doo dah, zippity doo. Waving at cops, you know?
Well, there's a lot to be
I don't
said
like
about
cops.
that.
I don't like cops as much as anybody don't like cops.
No.
Fuck them.
Right.
Anybody with that kind of power is going to abuse it. That's just human nature. I've met good cops. I've met shitty cops. It's just the job. It's like meeting shitty waitresses and good waitresses. Anything that's when you deal with people, it's going to provoke them in a certain way. I worked in a porn shop in my early 20s. I've waited tables and I've been a stand-up. It's real. I can give you good reactions to people. I know people. You see that many, and my brain logs all the I was doing a show. I walked on stage, and literally, as I got up there were 4 women sitting at a table. Black, white, Asian, and Latino. And they're all beautiful, and they're all dressed well. And I go, hey, what bank do you work at? And they reacted like I guessed all their weight at once.
Wow.
Because they're like, how'd you know that? And I'm like, well, a bank would hire beautiful women because who likes to give their money to an ugly woman? And I go, and banks aren't racist. They take everybody's money. So they want to have all kinds of pretty women. So when a guy walks up and he's Asian, he wants to give his money. Guy walks up, he's a black man, he wants to give his money. White guy, and it's all the same down. And they're just like, I was like, it's common sense. If you stare at enough people, you learn everything about them. We're not snowflakes.
No.
We're very repetitive. There's 300 million people in this country.
Yeah.
We're repetitive as fuck.
Yeah,
And
I would
that's-
imagine you've traveled a lot too.
Yeah, man, I've been all over. You have to, because I had to prove I was funny in every state. That was a weird thing for me. I haven't been to Alaska or Hawaii yet, but come on, we don't count them as states.
No, I mean, how could you possibly
If you're
offend
not really
anybody
on,
there?
if
You're
you're
not
on the
a part
map,
of the
yeah, you hear that,
continental
Alaska?
US.
You hear that? You fucking Eskimos. You weird ass land bridge coming over, motherfuckers.
Oh my God.
Second I'm drunk.
Wait a minute. Where did one of the comedians? Alonzo said he got Pakistan. He goes, and you know your career's in the fucking shitter. He goes, when your agent says, well, I got you a gig in Pakistan.
Is it for the troops? No, it's not our troops. It's for Hezbollah. If you're funny, you get to live.
Yeah, right.
It's funny. I've opened for Alonzo, and I've met him 4 other times, and every single time I see him, he treats me like we haven't met. And I don't blame
the
me.
Anti-Tim Tebow.
It's not his fault. He admits to doing a lot of drugs in his youth, and I'm like, your short-term memory, your memory in general,
well, if it's any
probably
consolation,
like a calculator. It holds that much information,
He didn't remember. I had met him through a friend of mine.
And y'all had sex.
No, yeah, right. Yeah, and he was like, "Do I know you?"
Name a good-looking over 6 foot black man she hasn't fast enough. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. No, wrong.
Keep her away from the Clippers. Is all I'm saying. Those teams, they gotta win. This is a tough year. Doc's gonna get fired.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you something.
Pisces.
That whole thing, Alonzo struck me as in knowing him. He was literally, he's very low key. Rocky's low key. You meet comedians, and one of the first interpretations of like comedian to me was on fire all the time. They're always lit. Well, that's not true. I mean, you said it yourself. You go, well, look at you. You have a pleasing personality on stage. People like you. You just instantly you walk out. I watch it.
Yeah, I got a really good compliment at the guys at Comedy Magic. The guy that worked there with, like, he's like, even though like I've seen most of your jokes, that because there's only about 25 minutes of my set I can do there. That club is very specific. And he's like, but he goes, I like seeing your set again. Because even if I heard the same joke 5 times, I still laugh.
Right.
The 5th time, he goes, it's just because of how you do it. And also, I'm really bad at telling jokes, so I tell a joke differently almost.
Every time. That's what I know.
You watch that, I'm like, this guy has no continuity.
You said this about that. And
I'll change the setup just to make my brain get through it. Like it's...
You know what I liked when you said about paying the hospital bill? And I'll pay them in 2
Well, there's also... I've had to do that joke and clean it up. So the original punchline of that joke is... I work out a deal at the hospital. I pay him $20 a month until the year 2000. Go fuck yourself.
Yes, that was the funniest one.
You should have killed me when you had the chance.
Yeah. Great. It was great.
Right? What a sick thought. I had that like 2 hours after my surgery because my brother mentioned, how are you going to pay for this? And I'm like, they should have killed me when they had the chance. And he's like, you still got it. My brother's like, you're lit on morphine and you're still
a little something
dropping the line.
But isn't that where the best comedy comes from?
Yeah.
That truth.
Yeah.
He actually shows people his scar.
Yeah.
On stage because he's like
3 hours.
Right. I paid for this. So I'm going to fucking show it.
Well, because also when you tell someone you've had an aneurysm at 27, they don't believe you.
Right.
Most people don't believe like someone's been through that. And I'm like, no, man, I've been dead. You know?
Yeah, that is pretty scary though.
Even the part where you talk about like the cops, like, oh, you're too young to be having. Where's the drugs?
Yeah, the fucking dude said that.
Was that true?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was later in the conversation, but he'd been in the room and he's like, "Where's the cocaine?" Like he was very like, "What have you been doing?" And I'm like, "I smoke pot." And he goes, "This is what he said." He goes, "You didn't get this way from smoking pot." And I'm like, "Obviously, look at me. I'm fucking huge. I was pushing like 4 bills, like bro, like."
Yeah, yeah, you do talk about that weight loss.
Like it's just like, dude, it's like look in front of me. You don't need to look around. Look at the fucking the small walrus sitting in the bed half naked screaming his chest hurts. That guy. That's your culprit. You see these bags of McDonald's? You think I've been eating? Yeah, wait. I did a bump. That's why I'm here. I did a bump. I'm Lynn Bias.
You did I would have to say, how long ago was that?
7 years.
7 years. So basically, like people call that a whisper in your ear wake up call. Now, you also know the history of a lot of comedians that were big.
I know. I still got
John Candy.
Chris Farley.
Yeah, Candy died like 38. Farley and Belushi both died at 33. So did Jesus. So I got 5 or 6 more months until my birthday, and then I can coast.
And then you be good.
Well, because I'll beat 33.
You kid, you.
33 is the fucking. It's funny because I'm like sitting around going, am I going down this year?
27 and 33.
It's weird. Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morris, yeah.
33 is the we
Jim
just
Morrison
watched
from
that
Tallahassee.
actually tonight. My girlfriend put on because she's gonna be 27. So
your girlfriend?
She's like,
is that what happened?
No. So she was like, I'm gonna show you how many people died at 27, and the other one was 33.
Yeah, but I think that's you can break that down statistically of like that's.
I'm like Google who's died at my age. Yeah, it is.
I think you make it to a certain point at 27, and then you may feel fearless, and then that may push you to 33, and it's like how long can you go punishing your body? You know, because Farley was doing cocaine and shooting drugs.
Right.
So was
So is
Belushi.
Belushi.
It necessarily wasn't the weight. It was the amalgamation of the two.
And John Candy?
He was in his 40s when he died.
Right. Well, that's like not old.
And he was big his whole life. So I
Right.
just did, you know, who knows if he didn't go to the doctor? Who knows if he smoked? There's a lot of other exterior stuff. I think he smoked.
And look at the freaky thing that happened to John Ritter.
we had the same thing.
Right?
We had this. He and I had the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what
but
I
he
was
was
wondering.
55 when he had it. If I had my aneurysm at 47, I'd be dead. My body wouldn't have taken that beating. But at
Wow,
27,
that's interesting.
kick the shit out of me.
Right.
And I fucking bounce back. You know?
Did it scare the shit out of you?
Yeah. You kidding? I get, I'm a little lit right now. I did a podcast, but I mean, I may drink 6 times, 7 times a year.
Okay.
I sleep plenty. I eat
Right.
better. I'm starting to exercise again. It's back and forth with diet and exercise. That's my struggle. But
Especially
other
on
than that,
the road, right?
yeah, and it's just tough being in LA, you try to push yourself as hard as you can with, auditions and all kinds of stuff.
Right.
And your job situation shifts.
No stress.
Stress. Yeah, right. And it's just, you do your very best to balance everything.
Listen, I have nothing but intense empathy because my mother is just, she's unable to walk at this point at 82, and she's pissed.
See,
She's pissed because she had knee surgery on one. It was so painful. She's like, fuck that. I'm not getting the other one done. And she said, if one more, my mother's so mad. She said, if one more fucking doctor tells me, well, if you lost the weight, she goes, what do you think? I don't know that shit? And I'm like, meanwhile, there is that battle because you have this, we owned restaurants. And you have this, you have to not do that. But she's like, I just fucking sit here, and the only pleasure she gets is food.
yeah, I mean, you stop fucking, you stop drinking,
Right.
you stop.
She's like, so
You start
this
looking
is
at
it.
it. You look at that fucking sandwich like it's
Right, and people
a
are like,
girl in a
"Come on."
halter top.
Hello,
You're just
big
like,
boy.
They're
Hey,
like,
do it,
she's
darling.
82. Just let her just fucking eat herself into oblivion. What's
first
the
off,
matter?
she's
And I'm like,
82.
get
Let
12
her do
inches
heroin.
already.
yeah, exactly.
Who
right?
cares? If I make it to 82
Yeah,
and I'm not
man.
60% machine, I'm going to do heroin because I'm going to try it. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it.
That's the other thing.
What's
that's
after
coming.
82? Death.
Death.
I want to go out in a dream. I don't want to go out and shit and piss on myself.
No, listen. I have to be honest with you. My grandfather was pretty well functioning, and he was 97. Her dad, longevity runs in her family.
I just hate that.
So-
Some braggadocious shit.
So it's like, it's wild.
Where
but
do
that
you get
generation,
off? What are you still doing?
Yeah. No shit. So, I come
Combing
from
2
good
hairs,
genetics.
balls dragging? Fuck that shit. I'm going out in a hail of gunfire. What?
Yeah, man.
I would tell my buddy, I was like, I'm going to die in a whorehouse brawl at the age of 80.
Yeah, well, that could possibly be. His brother was 103 going out to have a cigarette and a shot of whiskey at the wake.
And he died too?
No, he was still alive. He's got to be dead by now. But yeah, I mean,
That's ridiculous.
Well, what's ridiculous is you could spend all your life worried about that, and then you could go out like I've almost been killed a few times in car accidents, and people come out of nowhere. You got no
Yeah,
control over
dude.
that
The guy who
shit.
played, it was funny. The guy who played Al Neary in The Godfather was working in London, working a play, and he just literally stepped on the street and a bus killed him.
Yeah, that's fucked up, huh?
Doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah. Your expiration date is tattooed on your ass. You can't see it, but it's there.
Yeah, no shit.
You going out.
I just want to be able to just have a good last word.
Yeah.
I think my last word will be figures.
Figures.
Like a big tidal wave of dildos are coming down the street. I'm like, just figures. And it kills me. You know what I mean? Or I get bit by bees or something. Just I swell up twice my size. Figures. At this point, I don't have, whatever happens.
Do you actually use that phrase in your act? Because I'm thinking you could do a whole shit ton on that. and
No, because if someone mishears me, I'm going to have all kinds of people marching.
then- Really?
You know what I mean? People mishear you all the time.
Isn't that
I was literally doing radio one time as a joke for a softball game, and the guy goes, "You're the color man." And I had 2 different people walk up and go, "Did you say colored?" And I'm like, "I'm leaving." I can't even. I'm leaving. This is.
and it
no
is,
margin
it's
for
changed.
error
It's
over
changed a lot because you think about Lenny
That's
Bruce.
fine though. Yeah, but you know what? Though I listen to Lenny Bruce's albums, and I'm like, bro, you're so talky. You don't write a joke. You just were dirty. You just were
Is that
dirty.
what it was?
I have my respect for Lenny Bruce is great. You were the guy that did heroin and said fuck and walked up and coined TNA, and you were the Jesus Christ of being dirty.
Right.
You died for our sins. God bless you. But I don't. I mean,
that analogy.
Ty Cobb was a great baseball player, but he was a racist. There's certain things I can't overlook. And Lenny Bruce was great for the cause, but I don't think he was that great.
What about Red Fox?
Red Fox is amazing.
All right. because he is. I mean, I don't think he gets. That was another thing.
I watched Harlem Nights yesterday.
Really?
I did. I love that movie. He has some of the best lines in that line. The guy calls him motherfucker like 3 times. Like, that's the last motherfucker I'm gonna take from you.
That is a great line.
That. Yeah.
That is
he
a
just
great
had
line.
that quality, man. Just come on, Slick. Him and Malcolm X were friends.
And even to be able to clean it up enough for like TV, that was. Well, he was clean for TV a little bit when he got
Because it
introduced.
was writers. Like,
then he
it was
did the rec
acting.
albums, and then back to like
Those
Sanford
albums
and
that
Son.
is-
filthy.
introduced-
Though. I've listened to those albums.
Oh yeah,
Right.
man, the vignettes.
Wash your ass. That was one of the names of one of his albums. Was Wash Your Ass.
Yeah.
Wash your ass.
Good
You're
advice.
a grown man. Wash your ass. Drink it from a titty cup. Red. Come on. His albums, like you listen, they're so old. You'd hear like the china white people were eating on while he was on stage. Just like there's a dude in the back going doom 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 doom, setting a rhythm for his material.
That's
I'm
wonderful.
like, that's how old this guy was.
That's wonderful. I got. I'm just looking to see if.
Is that a tender match?
Huh?
Is that a bumble?
It's funny you should
At your
say
age,
that.
it's
The
stumble.
2 young girls. Wait, the 2 young girls, 25, 25, I think.
What
and
kind of whorehouse
27,
you running?
Right, that I just left. They're like, hey, give us a shout out on your show. What? They're in the entertainment industry.
Hello,
PAs.
young ladies.
Okay, yeah.
Hi.
Kara. Yeah,
Kara. Ooh, that sounds cute.
Kara and Kim. So I mean, they're
Not
roommates.
so much on the Kim.
Well,
I'm kidding. Kim, you're great. I'm sure you're great.
But they're doing Tinder while I'm sitting there, and they've gone through their breakups. They're
Dude,
upset, and
men tender like old prospectors pan sift.
yes, and she's going. She actually
Come
got
on.
solicited
Fools
to
me.
upgrade
Just give me
because she
one
ran
nugget.
out of swipes. She's like, and she's got so many hits. She gets some like special purchase because you've gotten these many
Herpes.
hits and you're spectacular. We're gonna give you a discount. And I'm like, are you just like to me? It's like kind of illegal prostitution that's kind of like funky.
Debatable. There's no
swiping
money being.
instead of wiping a day. Yeah, well,
No, I mean.
Well, I felt like Tinder is like guys' way to try to hook up, but girls' way to eat.
Word.
right?
Just lining up
Nothing
meals.
wrong with buying a free meal.
Nothing wrong with buying a free meal. Well, they say that they're so busy, and the entertainment business is grueling. And then they said they don't have time to go out and meet.
It's just easier to fucking
Yeah,
swipe.
It's like
have
left, right.
5 hours of conversation with somebody total, and
Yeah.
then go on a date and go, fuck them.
Exactly.
That works. Because I got to work 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. I got to find a dude that wants to fuck me at 11:30 after I've worked 15 hours and I haven't showered. That's the guy I'm looking for. Tell me I'm wrong.
I have no idea. And they're like, you should go on this. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I mean, there's
Listen,
a huge
you're
difference.
you're a sophisticated woman. You do not need
Tinder? That's
to be
just-
untender. You need tenderness.
Thank you.
Play
Oh,
that Otis
good,
Redding.
good. Boom, boom. I like that.
Seriously though,
My little
tenderness.
tenderness.
I can't.
Hey, I
sing.
almost posted that song. I love that
I
song.
can't
Yeah, you kidding? It's a great song.
Yeah.
Women
you
get
got
weary.
that. Women, yeah. Don't make it, you want to sing that.
Oh, don't even
Otis
stop.
Redding.
What are you talking about?
Otis, man. Oh, that's a.
Otis is great at his own songs, but I'm not a fan of when he covers stuff.
Well, yeah, they
There's a couple
eventually-
covers I was not a fan of. Some of his except for "Satisfaction" by the Rolling Stones.
I saw that. I didn't
Does it
know,
have the
but I haven't
horns?
seen that.
Ba 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 da da. It was funny because I saw.
That's Lee bellowing from the
What
background.
was it? Keith Richards goes, when I wrote that, I had that when I had, he goes, but we're the Rolling Stones. We didn't have horns. And he goes, when Otis Redding did it, he goes, he did it the way I wanted it in my head.
Wow.
It's just funny. It's like, yeah, I wrote it with that kind of because when Otis does it, it has that kick to it.
So let me ask you, because this is a guy thing.
Alabaster.
Do you have a lot of information?
Alabaster.
Because so far, your information on the music thing, it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
But
I mean, that's
it's
where I got white trash
the music,
supercomputer.
the comedy, people, he's
I pay attention to the world I live in. I love learning. I read
Wow.
constantly.
That's phenomenal because
Well, yeah, I mean, if you want to be
funny
funny in 100,000 different ways, you got to know 100,000 different things.
Do you find
What
that
you coming in with?
here's that crinkle. It was
like the
Look at the
cats when they
snack
hear
you
the
bringing
can
in here.
opener?
I'm gonna take the regular ones.
Our sound
See
engineer
that?
Lee
We
bringing
treat
in some
people
candy.
right.
Man,
treats
bringing
for
in
the
candy,
folks.
saving
Thank you,
us because he
sir.
knows I
That's
gotta.
it.
It's not even Halloween yet.
That's it. I have other things, you know.
I've had it since Halloween.
Like, they got a fridge in there. I'm sure there's something in there we can run.
2-year-old
I
candy.
love stealing people's food.
Don't you?
There's something satisfying knowing you're
Like
eating
from the
Pam's
fridge, like with their name on it.
Hey, Carl, these leftovers were great.
Wow, you're that guy?
Yeah.
Wait,
I'll put it
I
right over you. Come get $5 off me.
Yeah.
I got your food, homie.
I watched a guy.
I got
have-
$5 all day.
Holding food up.
You go back to Ralph's. I'm not going back to Ralph's.
Did you see that in Girl? Was it Girls Night Out or Girls Trip?
Same movie.
All right, all right, same movie,
Same
but
goddamn movie.
it was. Yeah, but I have to say this. That movie was well written. The
Which one?
The way Girls Trip. The one that
Yeah, the
just-
one with Haddish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did. She stole the
Isn't
show.
she killing it?
She killed
I
it.
feel
was
so
like-
bad for Regina Hall.
I was blown away by how she just owned it.
No, like you get your first leading role, and like it's like being Beyonce in Golden Girls, and Jennifer Hudson just ran away with the whole thing.
Right. It's amazing. It was amazing, and I have to admit that as far as like, and I want to say before we went on that there was something I wanted to make a point of when I heard. Oh, they did the scene about the coworker stealing, and and I can feel that because I was the woman who cooked and brought unbelievable food to work, and then it was like, who the fuck
Kobe
ate my food? Did it go in?
Living legend.
It did go in. You could, see, when you're lit, isn't that? You could claim that. It always goes in. He's waiting. Yeah, I walked right into that, and then
That's what Ike said.
Yeah.
Tina, you got. I'm sorry.
Yeah, is that the part you don't now? Because the comedy that I saw must have been like cleaned up comedy.
I mean, I tend to write cleaner jokes because I understand like what I'm trying to do on stage. I also
And you
know
do colleges, right?
Excuse me. Yes, I do. And like when you have a likable kind of baby face, sure. Thank you. When you have like a likable baby face, you can't. I've done darker jokes, and the crowd's been like, "Oh," when they didn't like it, and I'm like, "All right, fair enough." You
That's
like?
good that you know that, though. You understand your audience.
Yeah, and
your
then
appeal.
people say, "Well, you're writing for your audience, not writing for yourself." And I'm like, "No, I'm writing for like I want people to enjoy this." And if I'm being too dark and I'm not being, I guess, funny enough with it, then I'm gonna have that reaction, and I'm gonna change it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's something.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, right. Take one down and pass it around. That's really interesting as far as the minute you walked out. Okay, now of course I see a picture and I'm like, oh, I know the appeal. I know right where he's gonna go because you have that appeal of the boy next door, kind of nice kid, altar
But I
boy,
will kick
whatever,
your back door
right?
in. I will take from you. I will steal your DVD player.
Yeah, that I'm telling you, dude. It was like, and as you told your jokes, like I said, each one being different in what club you did it in, and also you could hear the differences in the crowds as to like the one where you opened up and you said your line and it kind of went quiet and it didn't hit until you hit the next part of the
Yeah,
joke.
sometimes it doesn't have
The same.
It's weird,
Right, it is
because you get
weird.
mad. You're like, "Fuck, this shit worked 2 weeks ago. This shit
Right.
worked last night. What's wrong with y'all?
Right.
Y'all not smart? Is it me? Where's the problem?" And you look back and go, "Was it me? Was it the crowd? I don't know." You just don't know sometimes. And you perform enough. You do 5 shows, 6 shows, 7 shows in a week. Like,
Wow.
they bleed together.
Right.
Like I've got, I don't know, 5 shows this week. No,
Was
I take that back. I've got 7 shows this week.
Was there the moment that you were so like, oh my God, I am mortified. I don't ever want to do this again? 'Cause
No.
you know
No,
what?
it's like heroin.
Everybody.
Every time
yes.
it's like heroin.
Everybody says to me, how do the comedians,
How do you? I look at people and go, "How do you go to a
a
fucking office building with a fluorescent light bulb sucks
Thank
your
you.
fucking soul, and then you just go home and talk
No,
about
they
your
say
fucking pointless day?"
No, they say the
I'm following my dreams.
the
I'm
rejection.
doing what I want. Oh,
They're
fuck
like-
the
'cause
rejection.
everybody's so
I live in the
insecure.
rejection.
That's
I
cool.
bask in the darkness. I've told crowds I'm not afraid of the silence you provide.
Oh, I like
I don't
that.
have to feel obligated. I'll do this when I want.
Yeah, I was telling somebody just yesterday, like, I was like, the jokes are really for me. Like, I don't care if you laugh or not.
I'll sit and look at you.
I'll be up
take
here
you
on
in.
stage laughing at
Well,
my
yeah,
own stuff.
you cracking up
I
on
crack
stage
myself
too,
up.
like getting a kick out of that.
My laugh gets laughed sometimes if I laugh at something I say. Like if I say something really like in the moment, and then I'll laugh, and my laugh will get an applause, like a laugh break. Is there's like my laughs.
It's a real laugh. I
It's
mean,
also
right.
my buddy goes, "You laugh like you have zero concern for anyone
Right.
around you.
Absolutely.
It's so piercing
It
because
really
it's just like
is.
ha." and it just
Exactly.
happens. I don't pick it. I don't, when it hits, it hits.
Right.
And it's genuine. I go, you'll get what you get from it. And if I hurt your ear,
Listen,
Whoopsie-daisy.
there's a new movie coming out, and the movie is Stephen King, and I saw the trailer, and of course there's fucking clowns in it. So as long as your laugh would be perfect if they had you in the scary clown outfit, because that's how it just comes out of him.
this is going to look,
out of nowhere.
this trailer looks way scarier. Did you watch the original?
Oh,
The miniseries on TV was, were you watching? I'm like, this doesn't hold up for fear at all. Tim Curry looks just kind of playful. He's
Right.
got jagged teeth, but what carnival worker has a great set of dental? Let's be honest. Have you met a guy that's like got a set of pearly whites and then
Carney.
tells you
What
his
carney
next
has great
shift
teeth?
is at a carnival?
no.
No, he's working that one tooth around the apple. Just
It is kind of scary because, being from Florida, you probably, with Ringling, you met a lot of circus
dude,
people.
I went to a lot of county fairs.
Yeah. Oh, come
I gotta go
yeah.
check out. Do you
I've
know
had
they've
more
got
funnel cake than I can count.
the It Experience over in Hollywood? I gotta
You're
go
the
check it
second.
out.
You're the second person to mention that. I'm not doing that.
What is it?
It's the It House.
They've rebuilt the house from the movie or something.
I don't give a shit.
I don't like scary movies. That's the one movie.
You know
like,
what?
I got enough demons in my head. I don't.
Yeah,
need to
you know
watch
what?
a
If I
scary
want,
movie.
if I really want to fucking burn my brain, I'll go to Houston right now, and I'll see
Oh
that.
my God.
You know what I
You
mean?
know-
Like I don't just.
I'm guilty.
The world's
I
a
don't
shitty place
have,
enough.
I don't have a TV. Is it like I went through Charlie, then Katrina hit, and everybody's talking
How
about
do you
what's
not have
going.
a TV?
Well, because all I have. I mean, I have a TV. I got internet, but I get like Netflix.
Yeah, that's TV.
That's it. But Netflix isn't
What year do
showing
you live
what's
in?
going
The
on
news.
in
Oh, you know what you
What's
should
going
get?
on? There's
no
I
li-
bet 30
no live
bucks.
stream.
You can get okay. You can
Yeah,
buy,
just get an antenna.
Yeah, I bought a flat little piece of like the plastic antenna I put up to my window. I get CBS, NBC, and Fox for football. That's why I got it.
Oh snap! You like the Patriots? Or you gonna boo-hooing? You gonna hate on me?
I'm a
You
Bucks
gonna-
fan.
Yeah, but that do you hate them? I mean, you either
No.
Okay.
I did a commercial.
Shut up.
I did a commercial for JBL headphones where they blamed me for Deflategate.
oh, that
I was dressed in Patriot garb.
no suck.
Like it wasn't Patriots, it was colors, Patriot colors, like gold,
Right.
blue, white, silver, and red, and different combinations of that. And then they blame me for the ball being like a little in the commercial. I feel the ball, it's noticeably lighter, and I just keep walking down.
Oh my God, that's right. I saw that commercial. Is that you?
Yeah, that was me.
Oh, that's right. That's so cool.
It was funny because on Twitter they were like shit talking. The commercial like fuck this, it's bullshit. This is all about the Patriots. We know what's going on. Every so often I would just be like, yeah, but that actor was really funny. What do you guys think? I thought he was hilarious. Really hit his marks. And when it would get like 20 likes, and then I would wait an hour, and then you'd read another 20 line and go, I mean, the guy had timing. And just would, and then when people would respond to it going, this is hilarious.
That's right.
Yeah, why not? Fuck them, they're trolls.
Yeah. Well,
Who cares?
has your jokes always been like when you first started? The jokes that you did. Do you do jokes based on your childhood? The
No,
regular-
my childhood, I mean, looking back, my childhood was a mixed bag, but it was not anything I thought relevant enough to talk about.
Okay.
I didn't think it was any different than what any other kid, and I was...
So I'm just curious as to that stepping off point because I like to know.
No, it was always, I started with my weight because that was the most identifiable thing, I think, when people saw me that I could joke about, and it was the easiest thing to write about. It was easy to pick on myself than it was to pick on someone else because, I mean, when you're 19 and fat, it's kind of hard to shit talk the world.
But
When you've done nothing and you look like a balloon, so I just was like, oh, I'll make fun of myself until I learned I was good enough to maybe talk about other things,
right, and your longest set has been.
I mean, when I headline, I do about an hour.
Yeah, I'm amazed.
But it's
at
not.
that.
But it's
It
not all
goes
about
quick,
my
huh?
weight. I mean, it depends on the crowd. Sometimes it's
Sometimes
funny.
it's like
Sometimes
forever?
it's like hiking with no shoes on. Sometimes.
Oh shit! Really? Yeah.
But when they're great, you're like, wow, that's been 45 minutes. Okay, cool. No, I mean, I talk about my weight for first. If I'm doing my first album, if I'm doing that at the show, maybe first 10 minutes. Once I get past and my aneurysm stuff, there's not really anything else related to my weight.
Okay. What about
and then my new album? I'm writing very, very few jokes related to my weight. Here and there, I have a tag, but other than that, I try to get away from it at this point.
So is it human behavior that you specialize your jokes on?
Just as the jokes come.
Right.
as they come.
Because funny shit's everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm
If you're
dating a
paying
girl,
attention.
I'm dating or whatever. Just depends on my life. They're all based in the real world. I don't write jokes about like I'm not whimsical in that sense of like I'm going to tell a fancy story. I'll just tell a funny story. You know.
Yes, you do. That's what it's all about.
I
Being
like
a
telling
great
you know.
storyteller.
Yes,
Yeah.
and being able to write jokes and being able to mix the two.
And
A funny story just has jokes. That's it. It's you know you look at like guys like Richard Pryor. They would tell a story. It takes 7 minutes. There'd be 40 punchlines.
right, brilliant.
Yeah, and you're like,
then-
oh, but it's a story. And I'm like, no, the
No,
fuck it's
it's
not.
not.
It's 30 jokes. I know what I'm listening to.
And I love that punchline. That whatever they said in the beginning, it's that boom right at the
Oh,
end.
the callback?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Like, well, he had I think Pryor had one of the best abilities to get an audience. You're in front of 1,000 people, and he could make you feel like you're sitting next to him.
right.
That's a gift. The bit about how he has monkeys dying, and his neighbor's Doberman like hop the fence. He's like, his dog's always barking at me, always giving me shit. He's like, what's wrong, Rich? He's like, my monkeys died. Oh man, ain't that a bitch? I was gonna eat one of them too. And he gets you sad, and then brings you right back. Hey, it's still a show, you know. And it's like, man, you can't linger on that shit too much. Oh, I know. He said right before the dog jumped back over the fence, he looked back and goes, hey, man, just let you know, tomorrow I'm going to be in that ass. And he wouldn't give you more than maybe a minute,
Right.
30 seconds, 40 seconds without hitting another joke.
Brilliance.
And yeah, he had the ability, you know, he's a fucked individual. I read books about him. Yeah, man, his behavior. But when your dad's a pimp and your mom's a prostitute and you see your mom get traded off and like, I mean, shit fucks with your brain like that.
Right,
He's been there-
residue.
Yeah, your grandma's
Residue.
a madam.
Yeah, man, all that stuff was just, but his bit about his grandma going, you ate cockroaches too, baby.
Yeah.
But the lady baking stuff, and she didn't realize cockroaches got in there. And the grandma was like, you ate it too. Just shut the fuck up. You ate it too. And that's such a grandma line. Your grandma's like, we all had cockroaches. Get the fuck over it.
You know, I did.
It was like 20 minutes on his mom's funeral.
Right.
Like, that was great. Like, the whole idea of riding in the car, it was so cold. His dad goes, if it gets any colder, the bitch is going to have to bury herself.
Right.
That's a line that he took, I'm sure, from his father.
True.
Like, that's something, like he's like during the ceremony, the reverend, he just tells the reverend, like, just get to the part where we throw the dirt on the bitch. It's so cold. Like, come on. She's fucking dead. And he was just like, listen. And like when you look at someone like that and you marginalize them down to you're a whore, fuck, he's going to care about a burial. He's probably just there for the kid. Just,
Right. But that truth and how he translated into funny. And
it's such in the 70s to tell in front of white audiences.
Right.
To be that vulnerable, to almost give in to the systemic issues white people have created for black people, he was, it was crazy. He had the white guy voice. All right, God damn it.
Yeah,
You
I love that.
peckerhead.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
His white guy voice, first off, there wasn't a white guy voice by a black comedian before Pryor. I love that shit, man. You son of a bitch.
Which a lot of comedians followed after he
Yeah,
carried that
you
off so
kidding?
well. Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
man.
that.
Michael Caine said, steal from the best.
Right.
Because if you're going to steal from the best. I don't believe that. Acting-wise, I will take whatever I can. If I see an actor do something and go, oh, I like that. I've learned with acting, the more I watch it, and the scenes where you're not doing anything, you have to do a ton of stuff. I was really watching a scene, a recent movie, and the guy's like, he's upset, and I'm like, but he keeps spinning around, he touches his hair. He's letting you throw his physical actions, his emotions, and I'm like, okay. I'm starting to learn acting. I'm reading books on it, taking classes, because I've been getting in small movie
cool.
roles, and I'm getting movie roles, and I'm like, I don't want to look like a schlub. I don't want to just like wing it like I fucking know what I'm doing. It's stupid. I'm going to come in prepared, because the last thing I want to do is look like an asshole.
You know, I've heard a lot of different things from people in the industry that have said everything from it's just pretending and like
Yeah, but there's still way more to it.
Well, I always
Just
see
being.
these little
It's
kids.
about being.
I see these little kids that are acting. These kids that are like just phenomenal. Like the little girl on Games of Thrones. I mean,
Arya?
like, oh.
She's probably 17,
No,
18
no,
or
not
something.
Arya. The other little girl who was the queen, and she's like 7. And remember, she's part of the house of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you're like her presence was like incredible. As far
Some
as
kids
like
have that kind of gravity, man.
right. So
That's
as
crazy.
an adult, I'd be like, fuck that shit. That little kid. can
But I
do it."
also think when you put them in costumes, and then when you watch the show, you're also looking at the show. It's been edited.
right.
It's ad soundtrack.
And
it's
directed.
been relit. It's been shaded. And everything looks great. So you're just standing there and just doing your lines.
Well,
and as long as you're not fucking it up, they're going to make it look great. You're not having conversations. We'll do that conversation 5 times.
Right.
Because they got to do it from your shoulder, from my shoulder, from right there, from right there. So when they do it, it looks more like, unless like a boring 30-second conversation, it's, why are you here? I don't know. What's going on? Who is she? And it's like, oh shit, there's suspense. It's funny how like editing and cameras. Also, you ever watched a movie that looked fucking poor?
Yes.
You don't buy into it.
No, because the
nicer the camera, the more you're allowed to suspend disbelief. The more it looks real, the more you go, I believe this. Nazi zombies.
Yeah,
could
even
take
like
over.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I'm like, sure, yeah, Asians can fly. Like
Asians can walk up palm trees. They're a tiny folk.
So that kind of, but acting versus, you're on stage as a comedian.
Acting's way harder.
And you're right, but well, what I'm saying is I would imagine you'd be really good at that, that gift of time, that gift of redoing, because on stage you have that one moment, you have only the words that you're delivering. You have to know for yourself where to hit that timing. In fact, I watched you do a joke, and you actually held going into that hold pause, and you could hear all of a sudden the people go, oh, he's not talking, and then they got the joke, and you could hear that roll of laughter because you let it. You were so secure knowing that this is going to take a second, but they're going to get it,
which is fine. I mean, sometimes you have to just sit there and check your phone.
Do you find that actually has to be something that's learned, right? Have you ever done
Yeah,
that?
I mean, you have to be completely comfortable in you have to, if you say the line, sit there and just let it hit.
I think that would be funny if you
Sometimes
had
it's
that
tough.
pause and you actually did like what people do and brought out your phone and stuff.
No,
I'm going to check my
there's
Facebook
not enough
while
time,
you get that.
and like even if I wait and you watch me wait, it's 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4
Really?
seconds. Yeah. It's funny though. It's I get happier when I come up with something on stage than if a new bit hits.
So you hear it when they do.
Yeah.
Have you?
sometimes.
Isn't that?
Sometimes.
That's what I live on.
Sometimes, yeah.
That
I mean, because
joy.
why not? I mean, it's funny. I enjoy a new joke working. It just shows me I can still write. But I also like, I was doing a wine show, and I randomly was mentioning, I said billionaires about something, and some lady yells out, "Amen," and I go, half the world's billionaires are Indian. They don't give a fuck about your amen. Their God has 8 arms. Your God has 2 hands with holes in them.
Now I'm going to go to how do you know that? I mean, that's great information to have in that.
Because
moment.
I understand Hinduism, and they
Right.
believe in, the Indians, Kali, the goddess of war, has 8 arms. And it's like, as long as I have this knowledge, I can make jokes.
I think about the billionaire part.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Well, how do
the
I-
hell did you
Saudi
know that?
sheiks who
It makes sense. It's okay. Tech giants. The guy who owns the Jaguars is a billionaire.
Right.
There's what, a couple hundred billionaires in the world?
Now there's one that is that lady that won. Imagine that.
She's not a billionaire.
Almost $1 billion.
No,
Come
she
on.
she won $758 million. She gonna keep 190. They're gonna take. First off, they're taking half. And
That
then-
much.
Yeah.
So they make out unbelievable on that.
Oh,
If you have a problem spending $190 million for the
True.
rest of your life, you deserve to be pistol whipped.
Right.
Like,
but
you
but
kidding
it's
me?
amazing.
You give me $190 million, and I'm gonna buy a sports franchise.
One cop said he was worried about the woman being single and vulnerable and
Oh,
not
they
attractive.
said-
I
They,
think she can afford
added-
security.
Yeah, that's
they
what I
added
said.
extra cop patrols to her neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, well, first off, she's an idiot for ever going back to that neighborhood.
And like,
I mean,
hey,
Cohasset-
you
I'm
I'm
will
going to the
never
Hyatt
see
till my
me
mansion's built.
again.
Where she's from is a very small kind of a
But I
it's
fuck-
like
but I'm
Ocala,
outta here.
You know what I'm saying? Or I should say Port
I'd get
Charlotte.
on a fucking plane and I'd be in Europe the next day.
I know. How many times? I have to admit, it's so much fun when it gets that big and you buy a ticket. How much fun is it just imagining the because anybody can win
I don't
it.
know, and this
You
is
know
my
what, though? But
first
it
time
takes
ever even
motivation,
trying to play, and then I didn't even know like the time cut off, so I'm there at like 7:23, and the guy's like, "No, it's." I was like, "Oh, but my wife just told me to come get this ticket."
But you know what, though? Like, there's no motivation in life after that point. You have all this money.
Oh my God, the good you could do with that money. I'm one
Yeah,
of
but the
those-
good you
I'm-
can do with it, but also just like the whole, I no longer have to push my career. I have literally achieved in 1 second what I was trying to achieve for 10 years.
Yeah, but you could own your own
Forget that.
comedy
I'll still
club.
figure
and
it
you
out.
would- you would,
No, you think I'd own a comedy club if I had 190
what would
million?
you do?
I guess I can say whatever I want. I mean, I don't know. I'd probably buy a sports franchise. I would want to be a part owner of like a minor league baseball team, and
I like
I'd want
that.
to run that. That'd be fun. I'd run it with my brother.
You're a big sports
I
baseball.
like
fan?
baseball. It'd just be fun to run a team,
Yeah.
like a minor league team, where it mattered.
Yeah, but I. The
All right,
talent that
Brewster's
you
Millions
could, yeah.
over here.
Right?
Brewster's
Great
Millions,
movie.
Yeah, no shit.
You're gonna have to spend the entire 180 million if you want to get anything. Some asshole greenlit that movie. Someone read that script and was like, "This sounds great." That's how cocaine
They were like,
influenced.
look, Richard Pryor and John Candy, we can't lose.
Right? Yeah. He played the catcher. Look how big he was.
I know,
Look how
right?
big he was. And they're like, yeah, you're a catcher. You're a major league catcher. Sure.
But they were a
You
major
couldn't
league.
leg out a home run.
They were a minor league club,
Yeah.
but they
But he
wanted a
was a
shot
ma-
at the big league. They wanted a shot at the Yankees.
That's fucking hilarious.
What would you say was like your best year that you had? What was the best year for the team that you were
Oh.
in there and
The Gators,
Yeah,
like
the
from
Gators.
04, 05, 06, when Tebow was there, and we won 2 national championships in basketball and 2 national championships in
I think
football.
everybody
Only
watched
university
Tebow.
ever to do it.
Yeah, but wouldn't you say that like Tebow brought in like what Tiger Woods did for golf? Tebow was for the Gators as far as like even if you want to Gators fan,
I mean, he
there
was
so
a
much
fullback
hype
that
on
could
him.
fucking throw.
Right.
He was
Well,
amazing.
But as a person and a personality,
Oh, I mean,
my
the
God.
good thing about Tebow is when you're playing with him, you know he's going to give 150%.
Right.
So for you to give less is criminal. Like, I remember during the national championship, like in the defense, he runs up and is like, finish this. And it's like, if that guy terrifies me and he yells me to finish this, I'm going to finish it.
Right.
He motivated every single person around him. They wouldn't let
The
him.
Jon Snow of
Really? He really is the Jon
football.
Snow, like, And, I remember when he played FSU one year and it was raining. And he just, like, he literally it was a quarterback sneak and he just pushes everyone into the fucking red zone. And he rolls over in the garnet and gold and he gets up and he looks like he's covered in blood, for Christ's sake. And he looked like William Wallace from Braveheart. And I'm like, oh, every man dies, but not every man really lives. But Tebow fucking, and he made it fun. He made it fun because he also would lay hits on people.
Mm-hmm.
The dude loved contact. I mean, I remember you'd see him go off for like a sweep and like there'd be a corner and it's like, bro, he's got 4 inches and 60 pounds on you. Go for it. And he would just stiff arm or hit guys and he'd get up and you'd see the excitement in his face. He was a boy playing a sport.
Right.
That's
That's when you remember why you love the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, he's probably going to have CTE when he's 60. But, now I don't think I'd ever let my kids play football. I'd be like, you're playing baseball and you're going to play year round.
Yeah, it's
There's
rough.
a lot of that talk. A young
Because
kid
kids
was
are
saying
whacking their
that,
fucking
yeah.
brains out for no reason.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You can put lit cigarettes out if you want to make
Even
them
with
tough.
these college kids
Yeah.
and who get no compensation, no, once you can't play for that school anymore,
Yeah, well.
what is there for you?
What was it? Out of 109
Scholarships
brains
gone
donated,
now?
like 108 had fucking CTE. Now
Yeah.
that's a very skewed statistic. They had an idea those people were going to have it, but I'm sorry, but when you're half the size of a Fiat, running at a third of the speed, and you're still hitting a human skeleton, god damn, that guy's brain's going to fucking just back and forth, back and
Right.
forth. I feel terrible. You see certain hits, and it's like, oh, that dude's not going to see 60. Jim Plunkett can't walk. He's like, I'm in constant pain. And I'm like, for what? How much money is worth immobility?
Right.
Until we're like Jax from Mortal Kombat and I
right.
can buy metal legs.
And the ones making the money off these guys, the money that they're making
I
off
will
them.
replace every organ I have with $190 million. I will
There
be.
you go. We'd be shopping.
I will be like an El Camino rebuilt. I like that. I'm
I
gonna
got my
tweet that.
special room.
I'm gonna tweet that. I'm the physical personification.
Yeah,
of
what
El
was the
Camino.
movie where the rich guy buys the young guy's body?
That's funny.
That would just be that is hilarious. You have to say that watching football, as far as like my sister's a hockey fan, and she's like they are the most underpaid, and what they endure is just as grueling as what football players go through as far as like the aggression on the ice and what they do, and it's not really the sport that
because you're getting slammed into like at even higher speeds,
right? And pucks whipping at your head. Those do you know a friend of my mom's, their nephew, his jugular was sliced on the ice during a game. It was in Boston, and because of the skate, when they do that, when they fell, the skate cut him. And I'm like, great, nice family sport. Kids bleeding out on the ice. Nobody's traumatized with that.
It was not going to traumatize a kid, for Christ's sake. They're sensitive people.
They're
little kids.
Little
Wait,
kids.
did the kid
No,
make
but
it,
I mean,
though?
like, I saw stuff like, you see crazy stuff when you're young. That's what, I don't know. They shouldn't see it, but it's like, how do you plan that shit to not happen? Do you know what I mean?
Right. Well, sports, like,
Yeah,
I don't know,
I
like
wouldn't want to be one of those parents that's so scared to just let the kid have any kind of fun,
Oh, yeah.
Just locked
I
up
got to
in the
ride
house,
around
just-
bikes around my neighborhood as a kid and just, like, do crazy stuff. And it's like, they got to have that release. Otherwise, you're just raising a generation of fucking losers.
Well, my generation, you shitting
And
me?
it sounds
My
like you
generation,
kinda
we grew
are.
up with all that. Death-defying, no seatbelts.
Evil
Smoking
Knievel.
in the car. Oh,
That
yeah.
guy's job was just jumping over shit. Nowadays, like, dude, you got your fucking mind. Go work at FedEx. Like, for real. Like, oh, you're going to jump 30 buses. Man, go to DeVry.
And I feel like that's and speaking of like the difference in these generations, like you see these kids, they seem more apt to commit suicide than like my generation. It's like, okay,
I don't
you
know
got
this.
picked
I would
on.
have to
Oh
look at- I
well,
would
get
have to
over
look
it,
at the
or learn to
rates.
fight, or do something.
I would have to look at the rates. I think suicide in every generation has around the same.
It's like a lot. Yeah, it's like a lot of things too. You have
I didn't know. I
to.
was like, oh, God.
You have to you say that as far as generation wise, okay, what the stats are, what you said. Now people talk about shit more than they ever did because of the internet.
For sure, access to
Like
information
killing
creates...
yourself over cyberbullying, like come on.
Yeah, but then again, that kid could have killed himself for another reason 20 years ago. I think, there's a select portion of every generation that are prone to suicide, that are prone to emotional instability. And, what provokes it in one generation might not provoke it in another and vice versa.
Did you, I just heard on the radio that the family of the guy from Lincoln Park, okay.
I heard his medication got fucked up.
Well, what they said was they're going to set up a foundation because they don't want these kids to be influenced or inspired by the fact that...
Yeah, he decided to leave.
Yeah.
But, like, look at someone like Hunter S. Thompson, man. The guy was, like, 65 when he blew his brains out, and he's like, you know what? I've done a ton of drugs. I've lived a very interesting life. I'm going to do it. I'm leaving. I'm done.
Really?
I think when you get to 60, you have the right to check out of the hotel of life. That's where I'm, good. Are we done?
No.
Oh.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, we could go. But let me ask you this. What I love about comedy...
Tallahassee.
What I love about comedy is the... You really don't know. There was a comedian that said that... in fact, I was at the show that night. The guy was talking about he was suicidal until he went... This was in Boston. He said it, and going to the show saved his life that night. And
oh, yeah.
That moment that... There's a lot of different things where people don't realize you
I think some people get wrapped up in their own depression. They get wrapped up in their own problems, and they don't seek help, and they don't seek outside forces, and they don't try to... When I'm down, I go out.
Right.
Because I'm like, well, fuck it. I'll get around people, and
Is
someone...
that what they mean by down and out?
I guess so. Otherwise, it's a Nick Nolte, Richard Dreyfuss movie in the 80s.
It means
Well,
you're
wait.
just
Down and out in
It's
Beverly
also
Hills.
that, but I really wish we could start. How about a foundation where we get a bunch of comedians and we go to places like cancer treatments, we go into chemo, and because
Well, I've been sending out free CDs on Twitter to people that have been through cancer and stuff like that.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I got a really good deal on my last bit of CDs for my first album, and I was like, well, fuck it. I'll send them out and mail them and make the world better. And it's funny because people will email me and go, hey, I have PTSD from... I was like, yeah, you're fine. Send me an email. Send me an address. Send me a name.
That's awesome.
I'm not like I need criteria. If you think you need it, then I will give it to you. I'm like, I will give you a copy of my album. I paid 75 cents for it. It's cost me $2 to ship it. It's $3 to make your life better. And I'm cool. I've sent out 35 so far, and I want to sell. I have, like I said, 100 aside.
You know what my catchphrase is, but you don't. But I'm going to tell you.
Black dudes only.
If
Let's be
laughter
honest.
is
That's what it is.
get me in trouble. If laughter is the best medicine, let me be your pharmacy.
There you go.
That comedy.
Call me Dr. Grins.
Yeah, not like that. That's good.
It's a shitty comedy club in the door. I'm kidding. It's not shitty. I work it. It's not shitty. It's not shitty. It's not shitty.
But you have that. Yeah.
I need
done?
work.
Oh my God, Chris! Thank you so much. I don't even get to give him an intro, and we're out, folks.
Oh, sorry.
Outro.
Everything is at Chris Cope Comedy. If you go to my website, it's www.chriscopecomedy.com. Twitter and Instagram is at Chris Cope Comedy. That's it.
And hit him up. He'll help you cope with
That was way
life.
too much
This is
fun.
fun, guys. Yeah, Cope.
Hanging. Thank you guys. See you next week.